China is engaged in a desperate rearguard action to salvage its image, held responsible for the worst pandemic in a century, sending medical supplies to fight COVID-19, but at the same time accused of a cynical attempt to shift the blame. Its foreign ministry tweeting earlier in March it might be the US Army who brought the epidemic to Wuhan. US owe us an explanation. And its state newspaper Global Times 10 days later raising the possibility the virus started in Italy. The disinformation campaign is causing mounting frustration in Western capitals, and countries have also had to reject some of the medical supplies China's sending as substandard. The British government is under increasing pressure to re-evaluate its relations with China.
They haven't earned the trust of the rest of the world, and particularly the West, so that the British government should treat China in a way the way we used to treat the Soviet Union, that during much of the Cold War, of course we wanted it to stay peaceful, and of course we wanted to cooperate on some things, but we should cooperate where we can, but always guard against a country that regards itself as an adversary.
Scientists say the COVID-19 virus was most likely transferred from wild animal species to humans. Despite that, markets selling them alongside other meat remain open. These pictures taken only last month. The most likely source for COVID-19, it's thought, were bats or pangolins, a scaly anteater we were offered in a restaurant in southern China in the early 2000s. The Chinese have been warned about the risk for decades and have failed to act even after the SARS outbreak in 2003. Scientists say it's vital they do so now.
That was a really loud wake-up call to the world that we were playing with fire, as it were. But actually, not only have we gone back to business as usual, we've continued to make things worse. We've continued to commoditize the natural world, to commoditize wildlife, to bring in new species into these supply chains.
Making matters worse, the British government reportedly believes China may have massively underreported the scale of the coronavirus epidemic there, possibly by a factor of 40. In America, President Trump is calling COVID-19 the China or Wuhan virus.
Your own aide, Secretary Azar, says he does not use this term. He says ethnicity does not cause the virus. Why do you keep using this? A lot of people say it's racist.
It's not racist at all, no, not at all. It comes from China. That's why. It comes from China. I want to be accurate.
In such desperate times, the world needs its two greatest powers working together. But the blame game around COVID-19 may be just starting, and anger over China's role is only growing. Dominic Waghorn, Sky News.